please come to order. We've got a quorum present. All of our notices have been duly posted and the board's to be called. Motion to open quorum.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Available, please open quorum.
All right, Dallas County Commissioners Court is now in session 4, March 2013, term with Honorable Judge Jenkins presiding. Please remain standing for the invocation.
And our invocation today will be given by a guest of Commissioner Cantrell.
Judge and Commissioners, our invocator this morning is Pastor Howard Fadner, who come forward, please, who's been serving at Park Central Baptist Church in Dallas for 26 years as its associate pastor and is currently serving as its interim pastor. He was born in Houston. He later would earn his undergraduate degree from Houston Baptist University, and he received his master's from Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth. In addition to his duties as ministers to his congregation, he's also responsible for the administration and educational ministries as well. He has served on mission trips around the world and enjoys teaching adult classes on financial peace and responsibility. And Howard is married his high school sweetheart, Linda, and has since celebrated 35 years of marriage. Congratulations. And they have 2 sons and 3 grandchildren. Pastor, thank you for coming down today.
Thank you. Pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning. We first want to thank you for your blessings of mercy, goodness, patience, love, wisdom, power, glory, and certainly most of all, grace. We come to you now on behalf of our county commissioners, Father, to help them to accept wise counsel, to teach the commissioners to trust you, protect every commissioner from the evil one, to give each commissioner discretion, foresight, and understanding in making decisions. Father, we pray that you'll work with them and give them generously answers to our prayer this morning for their wisdom. Just pour out your spirit on this court and their leadership. Protect each commissioner from harm, bless and protect their families. Enable these commissioners to carry out their duties to Dallas County with humility towards you and certainly toward others. Father, equip them each as commissioners to act according to your will and to make choices that are pleasing to you. Give the court the courage to do the right thing, even when urged possibly to do the wrong thing. Father, give the court a tender heart of compassion toward those they lead and serve. We ask all of this morning in the powerful, mighty name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Good prayer.
All right, and next week, resolutions. First resolution is from Dr. Daniel. On some of my favorite people this morning.
Thank you very much. People who've had a great influence in my life too. We get remembered at a regular meeting of the Commissioners Court of Dallas County, Texas, held on the 19th day of March 2013. That whereas the Dallas County Commissioners Court takes special notice and acknowledges during Women's History Month when an individual has contributed and provided exceptional service to Dallas County. And whereas the public celebration of women's history began in 1978 on Women's History Week, as with Women's History Week, and included March 8th as International Women's Day. In 1987, Congress expanded the celebration to a month, and March was declared Women's History Month. This is the month we honor and publicly celebrate women's achievements throughout the history of the United States. And whereas throughout the history of Dallas County, women have advocated positive change in every aspect of our society, and their accomplishments continue to impact the lives of every citizen. It was in Dallas County, 1893, that the first Texas suffrage organization was formed, the Texas Equal Rights Association. In 1918, 25 years later, Texas women leveraged their political influence during the governor's race, practically guaranteeing the support of women's suffrage. In 1919, Texas became the 9th state in the Union and the first state in the South to ratify the 19th Amendment, leading the way for other conservative states to support women's rights to vote and run for office. And whereas the Women's History Month presents a remarkable opportunity to honor the tenacity and spirit of women in Dallas County, while at the same time honoring 3 extraordinary women, among many, whose contributions make a significant difference today. Adelpha Poteo Callejo, Vivian Anderson Castleberry, and Myrtis Ophelia Evans. And whereas Adelpha Poteo Callejo, an attorney, entrepreneur, and leader within the Hispanic community, is a civil rights advocate in Dallas County. She is the first Hispanic woman to receive a degree from SMU Dedman School of Law, where the Leadership Latino Studies Institute is named in her honor. A highly respected attorney and cultural leader, she has received numerous local and national awards honoring her courage, foresight, and commitment to democracy. And whereas Vivian Anderson Castleberry co-founded the first women's shelter in Dallas, Texas, the Family Place, is a safe haven for women and children with abuse. As a gifted writer and award-winning journalist, she focuses on social issues and inequality of women, both rich and poor. As the first female editor of the Dallas Times-Herald, an author and advocate of moral and social reform, she continues to inspire a generation of women and men, in particular through the Castleberry Peace Institute. And whereas Myrtis Ophelia Evans is dedicated to ensuring the rights of citizens to vote and be involved in the political process. Over the past 45 years, she has enriched the lives of others while serving on staff with former Dallas County Judge Gary Weber, U.S. Congressman Martin Frost, and currently Texas State Senator Royce West. As a trusted public servant, she has a deep understanding of and an appreciation for governance. As a grassroots organizer and a viable resource in her community, serving 56 years as a precinct chair, she continues to educate, train, and model ethical leadership critical to the democratic process. And now, therefore, be it resolved that on behalf of the Dallas County Commissioners Court and the residents of Dallas County, we call upon all citizens to observe the month of March, recognizing that to draw strength and inspiration from the women who came before us and these remarkable women who are honored here today. Done in open court this 19th day of March 2013.
Move it.
Move to accept the...
And I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
We will now hear from a personal representative of Ms. Adelpha Callejo, who is recuperating from surgery, her nephew, J.D. Gonzalez.
Thank you. Judge Jenkins, Honorable County Commissioners, I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of Adelpha. She sends her love, she sends her compassion, and asked me to deliver 2 or 3 messages. 1, your health is your greatest wealth. Eat well, exercise consistently and constantly. Number 2, our primary duty in life, or one of our primary duties in life, is to leave this world better than we found it. And the third one is impossible is nothing. She's asked me to tell you that impossible is a big word used by small men and small women who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power and harness the power they have to change it. She's asked me to tell you that impossible is not just a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential, impossible is temporary, impossible is nothing. Again, on behalf of our families in Adelpha, I extend our heartfelt thanks and our humility. Thank you. God bless you.
Good morning. Judge Jenkins, to all the commissioners.
I stand here to say thank you. 30 years ago, I got out of Lincoln County Judge Gary Weber, and it certainly is an honor for me to return to Commissioners Court to accept this award. I want to thank all of you for what that you do and ask that we will continue to do the best that we can to improve the lives of the city of Dallas and the county of Dallas. Thank you.
My dear, wonderful friends and compatriots, we're all in this together. We have been for a long, long time. There are still things to do, miles to go, visions that we must realize. Thank you so much, each of you commissioners, for your leadership, and thank this community for the opportunity that we all have to go forward in strength and in wisdom. Thank you very much.
If we can have you just come a little bit, no, just, there we go. You were just right. Now you need to sit back.
Well, I don't know how you do that, sounds painful.
There we go, that's perfect, yes, thank you. Okay, 1, 2. And one more. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next resolution will be read by Commissioner Price.
Judge, Commissioners, this morning we're very pleased to have with us Mayor Carl Sherman and the real mayor for today, Xavier Newman. And the resolution reads, whereas the DeSoto Independent School District has made it their mission and plan to prepare each student academically to be a problem solver and a productive citizen for the 21st century global society. And whereas the DeSoto Independent School District is fully supported by the DeSoto Mayor, the council members, and government by allowing highly qualified recommended students to assume the role of mayor for a day in order to promote civil knowledge and responsibility. And whereas Xavier Newman has been advanced by those who know him well and who wholeheartedly accept his vita as meeting and exceeding all requisite components for consideration. And whereas Xavier Newman has shown himself to be a model student by maintaining an attendance record of 98% or more, exceeding the A honor roll an average of 3.5 grade point average, and his submission of a well-written essay on why he should fill the post of mayor for a day. And whereas Xavier Newman achieves a level of commitment and character that deserves to be exemplified to all DeSoto Independent School District students at every level, therefore be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court is hereby, with great pride, join with the DeSoto Independent School District administrators, teachers, staff, and community as it hails Xavier Newman as mayor for a day for 2013. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Mayor Emeritus for a day.
Commissioner Price, you said it very well, and Mayor Newman is certainly a great leader for the school district and the city and Dallas County, and had the distinct privilege of bestowing on him the title of mayor and the pin, the All-American City pin, which he wears proudly on his lapel. But I'd like to read just an essay letter that he wrote to be the mayor for the day. He was selected out of 745 students in the 8th grade. He is a young man that not only does it in the classroom, but he does it on the football field too. So his superintendent, Dr. Harris, wanted to be here as well to witness this young man and his leadership. And his mother, Ms. Brigham, is also here as well, standing behind him. He wrote, "The reason I would like to be mayor for the day is because I want to see how it feels to run the city I live in inside the scope of DeSoto, I like to call it. Also, I think it would be a good opportunity to prepare for life in the business world if I choose to go that path for a career. This experience may even challenge me to go in a direction I hadn't even considered, politics. I'm sure that at 13, President Obama never imagined he would be the first black president of the United States. I would appreciate the opportunity to meet Mayor Sherman and show him that I am intelligent, talented, and a committed young man. Also, I would love to have this great achievement to look back on as I succeed in life." I like how he said presumptive, knowing confidently that he will do well in life. It would be an honor and a pleasure to have my name and my school's name, which just happens to be the best school in DeSoto ISD, associated with this partnership. I would welcome the opportunity to watch Mayor Sherman in action and share with my classmates, coaches, and other adults how hard he works for our community. I like that part. But most importantly, I really appreciate the fact that he said my name and my school's name associated with this partnership. Then he says, I would find it extremely interesting to have a first-hand look at the behind-the-scenes action that Mayor Sherman is faced with that helped shape his decision. I'm eager to learn how things in the city are managed along with what our strengths and weaknesses are as a whole. I can see what needs to be improved, changed, or terminated. This experience would enable me to express myself by assisting Mayor Sherman in his decision-making, and who knows, maybe give him a run for his money. There are a lot of questions I want to ask about our community. I really feel like this is the perfect opportunity to express myself and get my questions answered. One of the most important things I would like to gain from this experience is to see how we, as teenagers, can help continue to make DeSoto a great community to live and work in. By granting me this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I would bring back the knowledge I've gained and not only share it with my classmates, but other students in the district. We then could start a discussion with the DeSoto ISD administration and school board members to bring about a lasting and more meaningful partnership. This young man I commend because he is extremely informed on the fact that none of us is as smart as all of us. He is so much about inviting ideas, and when he said he would be helping me make decisions, I want him to know that he's going to be making decisions because what his principal wrote and what the lady whose name is on the school said about him is that this young man makes good choices. He makes good decisions. So we really appreciate the opportunity to come before Commissioner's Court. Commissioner Price, thank you, Judge Jenkins, Commissioner Gantrell, Commissioner Daniel, as well as Commissioner Garcia. God bless you. Now, the mayor has already said to me he didn't have a speech. So he said he would entertain any questions.
Now you're with the mayor, now you just do all the same thing you want to. Don't do that. Back good choice.
That's the problem.
Well, it's a very impressive essay and an impressive resume. We wish you the very best of luck. Not that you'll need it as the mayor for the day. Thank you for coming.
And the doctor.
Thank you.
Okay, the Dr. Harris, thank you. Just y'all come forward. While they're coming forward to get this photo, let me just say to Dr. Harris, I really appreciate that. Let me just tell you, and I'm going to have an opportunity to commend both as y'all are coming forward, the Duncanville girls for their state championship and the Madison boys for their state championship. There are only 2 schools in the state whose superintendent did not accompany you. And so I appreciate your coming.
Yeah, and just have you guys kind of switch it a little bit and even it out just a tad. They're perfect. You've done this before, Mayor.
I'll tell you what's impressive about the Madison men's team. I had the opportunity to stay in the same hotel with them after they won the semifinal. Those kids did not party when they ran that score. Mayor?
Yeah. I just want you to understand.
Parents party, but those kids, they got them something to eat right there. They're ready to go.
That's really one mistake.
All right, and I've got the last resolution, or resolutions today. Would Melanie Gardner, the managing director of the North Texas Poison Center, come to the podium, please? If Melanie's here. This resolution is for Poison Prevention Week here in Dallas County. An important issue as long as one child gets into the medicine cabinet and takes medicine that is not designed for them, or takes medicine without supervision. We need to be mindful of the work that's done at the North Texas Poison Center, and our responsibility as parents and as adults with medicine. So the resolution reads as follows. Whereas our society utilizes medicine to provide health-giving and life-sustaining benefits, whereas we utilize household products to perform labor-saving and time-saving functions, whereas these products, when not used as intended or directed, may be hazardous, particularly if children gain access to them, whereas over the past 51 years, the nation has been observing Poison Prevention Week to call attention to these hazards, Without proper handling and disposal of these substances, proper use of safety packaging can help eliminate them. Whereas the North Texas Poison Control Center, a regional poison center located at Parkland Health and Hospital System, provides the ultimate in human service program, immediate accessible emergency information to save lives of victims of poison-related emergencies. Whereas these programs must continue as long as even one child swallows a household product or medicine by mistake. Whereas now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court is hereby designate the week of March 17th through 23rd, 2013 as Poison Prevention Week in Dallas. Further, the court encourages all local government agencies to continue their work with concerned citizens and community organizations, including our schools, to develop programs to raise awareness about the dangers of misusing medicine and household products and to promote effective safeguards. Done in open court this 19th day of March 2013, and I so move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Melody, would you like to say a few words about the importance of poison prevention?
Thank you so much, Judge Jenkins, Commissioners. Thank you so much for the proclamation today. Poisoning is not only a major issue in Dallas County, but a national problem that affects us all. Your help today gets us one step closer in preventing unnecessary deaths and hospitalizations in our community. Thank you very much.
I just want to say to the Sheriff's Department, on behalf of the employees, the 1,450 detention service officers which work 24/7, those sworn officers that they have, I just want to thank them. 28 years, I've never witnessed an appreciation for employees that was displayed on Friday night by this department, all of their employees. I think Ms. Richardson put it best in her comments and talked about the mark of true professionalism, the excellence, the teamwork. But more than anything, the individuals that they honored and the kind of life-saving feats that they've been a part of. It was really a Class A Oscar
Fantastic party.
party. It was a great production, and I also want to say that not only about the people that were there and present, they had the consideration to understand that they run a 24/7 operation, and what they did is they remembered all of those individuals who were working even not a 10, and therefore made provisions, had a proviso for those individuals to make sure that they were awarded as well. And so I really want to commend the sheriff. We talk about morale around here, but that department has come just full circle, light years. It was 6 years, and so to the sheriff, to Chief Wilson, Cheryl Wilson, who was in charge of that production, I just want to thank you on behalf of all the employees of the Sheriff's Department. Additionally, yesterday I want to thank staff for the Keyswood Trail and the dedication. Staff did a yeoman's job in terms of that production yesterday. Now the longest trail in the southern sector. But it was a great production. So to Rick Lesberg, to Alberta Blair, and all of their staff, just want to say thank you for that.
All right, you bet. And our next item is the consent agenda. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Second.
All those in favor? I will now consider item 9, the bids. Is there a motion on the bids?
One bid, so moved.
Second.
I will vote on it.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Mark,
Commissioners, but you're not voting no because it was not a good bid and not because it did not meet all of
I'm
the
voting
requirements.
no because
There
it
was
doesn't
no-
have minority participation. So,
I want the record to be real clear.
thank you, Commissioner.
Okay.
I will continue to do so, even when it's the lowest bidder.
There's
And
no
I
doubt.
believe they need to represent.
Okay, I got it.
the
I'm cool,
constituency.
I got it. I'm clear. I just need the record.
We come with that disparity study.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you much.
You're welcome. We will now consider court orders 10 through 66. Revised 25, 33, and 55. So can I get a motion on court orders 10 through 66 with the revised 25, which you should all have on your bias today, and 33 and 55, which revised your those two.
Second.
Any discussion on those court orders?
Yes, on Court Order 30. This is phase 2 of the telecommuting deal, and Major, I know you kept a close eye on monitoring this to make sure it complied with the policy. So as we move into phase 2, I just want to make sure that everybody knew it's not without, not without seeing what's going on,
Well,
that we make this decision.
I put a big check mark on it. I definitely appreciate it. In terms of the industry, that's the way we're going, as much as the competitiveness of salaries, this is part of that workforce culture. And I know at one time when it would come before the prior court, there seemed to be a whole lot of consideration as to whether or not someone was dealing with productivity and was in fact tracking it, and that appears to be the case.
It's productivity, but also sick, holiday, vacation, all that other stuff that you're monitoring also.
Right, exactly. But it's definitely support the telework policy.
And I do as well. I just want the rest of the departments to understand that this is under close scrutiny, and we're watching what takes place in the country.
Right.
Judge, if I may, I apologize, but I also need to just double check on Court Order 51. That's the novation agreement for the professional services contract. I do believe we're waiting for maybe to pull that for a week to allow the DA to finalize review of that.
Okay. Is that correct?
51. Just to finalize that.
That's fine.
I believe we may be able to have that done for you by the end of the session today.
Well, it's fine. If you get it done by the end of the session, we'll bring it back after close and vote it out, but if not, we'll
Micah removes 51, second removes.
Okay. All right, so are you clear on what you got then? Okay, great. Any other questions on, or any other comments rather on court orders?
I just want to say, well, I would like to vote in a minute, but I also wanted to recognize here Mr. Eladio Martinez, which is here with us today, and he will be representing us on the County Historical Commission. So, Mr. Martinez, thank you for being here.
We also recognize Mr. Jack Caffey, who's sitting back here too, and he will be putting in his hours to help Dallas County be all that it can be. So thank you, Jack, for your future service and for being here today, and his wife.
And Mr. Narvaez was here last week, so he couldn't be here with us today, but we appreciate all your service to all of the advocates. Thank you. Thank you.
Already no mention of boards would be complete without noticing that and recognizing that we've got our chair of Parkland Hospital here who is working probably 40 hours a week or more every week without pay well over 40 hours a week without pay to get us in the place where we need to be with that hospital. So and I know she's first up on our briefing agenda as well. Any other discussion on the court orders before we take a vote? Hearing none. All is in favor of the court orders?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, court orders pass unanimously. Mr. Martin, will you please take session?
Morning, Judge Commissioner. Your first item, Department of Health and Hospital System, CEO Central update. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Price.
Judge, 2 weeks ago, I asked for some information from Parkland Hospital. I have yet to receive that information, so I'd like for the chair and or Mr. Leslie or someone to come and explain to me why I'm not entitled to that information. I want the record to be real clear. All the information and, the subterfuge is really unacceptable. All I've done is ask. Korn Ferry was engaged by Parkland to assist them in the search of a CEO. I'm told that they interviewed over 200 candidates. Is that correct? That they submitted over 200 candidates. And from these candidates, the field was narrowed down to at least 4 that you allow the newspaper to print, but I have it on good information that it's 2. So you've gone from Korn Ferry is known for being the best in the country in terms of headhunting for health institutions. From that, the board itself interviewed these candidates. It's my understanding that these candidates also took part in what I call a community-style interview process. After almost $400,000, it is my understanding that the board decided to scrap the whole thing and basically start over. I just have some questions. First of all, I don't understand why I'm not privy to the report. Did Korn Ferry tender a copy of a report as part of their engagement to find a CEO, according to the documents that you sent me?
Commissioner, Korn Ferry gave us at some point in time a list of qualified individuals.
Did they give you a report?
There was no written report. There were verbal reports.
So you're telling me that we paid them over $300,000 and they never gave you a written report?
As I said, they gave us a list of qualified individuals and their assessments of those individuals. Early on in the process, I think it was a list of 17. I'm talking from memory. But there was no final written report.
Okay, so if there was no report, how did you receive the information on an exhaustive search and to make sure, according to their contract, that they had performed? Because the contract did not say just the names. The contract was had metrics and was very specific. So if they didn't tender a report, how did you receive the information on an exhaustive report?
Verbal reports.
And I'm assuming Vitas, they gave you Vitas on the same.
They did. The one-page summary of interested individuals.
And so are those records available?
Mr. Leslie?
Korn Ferry has indicated that they have a proprietary database of individuals. As a part of the process, it was made very clear to the candidates up front and I shouldn't use the word candidates, it was made very clear that individuals who wanted to submit a candidacy for this provision needed to notify Korn Ferry of that so that they would understand that their records could be subject to the Public Information Act. It's my understanding that process was done by Korn Ferry, but Korn Ferry has advised that they have a proprietary interest in the database of just qualified individuals before they became candidates. But we made it very clear to Korn Ferry that once they became a candidate or an applicant, The information about them will be available, including their resume, as public information.
Okay, so have you provided that to me?
No.
Why?
The request that we got from you, Commissioner Price, last week asked for 3 specific things. One, the board documents indicating how the contract was approved, that was provided on Friday, as well as the contract. The other was reports that had been submitted by Korn Ferry to the board. As Ms. Branson made clear, the reports were oral. I'm happy to go back and talk to Korn Ferry and get a copy of the resumes for the interested parties who became candidates and applicants and send that information on to you.
Okay, so I guess I should ask Mr. Ransom, what was the recitation from Korn Ferry with regards to the candidates and the ones that you narrated to? Was there any commentary one way or the other with regards to the candidates in the pool?
There was commentary.
Okay, and the commentary with regards to either the last 4 or the last 2, did Korn Ferry tend to comment with regards to though either of those candidates who could provide leadership to Parkland Hospital?
Korn Ferry obviously felt that those individuals could provide leadership.
And did they, in fact, articulate that one of the candidates more than the others was, let's say, head and shoulders with regards to providing that leadership?
I think they concurred with our, as we reduced the list, they concurred with our elimination, or not elimination, but our reduced list. They agreed with our choices.
So if I were to bring my board appointee down here and, or any of the other, they would say that Korn Ferry did not, in fact, say that one candidate could in fact provide the leadership out of that reservoir, that pool that you narrowed, for Parkland Health and Hospital Systems.
It is my belief that they felt that the final 4 could do the job.
They also felt that the 17 could do the job because that's
Absolutely.
their job.
I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about 2. I'm talking about the final 2. Did Korn Ferry express an opinion as to whether or not, in those 2 individuals, that one could do the job more than the other?
Paul, I need some direction here, should I?
I would say that to the court that these discussions were held in executive session pursuant to the exception of the Open Meetings Act concerning personnel matters and specific positions.
Well, no, personnel specific, Paul. Don't play that personnel specific. You don't have personnel yet. You don't have personnel yet, and I don't know how you get that when you're talking about a report that was paid for with taxpayer dollars. So I don't know how you get there.
No, and Commissioner, to be clear, I'm talking about the oral discussions. Those were held in executive session under the Open Meetings Act that provides an exception for the board to discuss specific personnel positions, including applicants for the CEO position. The Attorney General and the law is very clear those discussions can be held in executive session. They were held in executive session. Now, if there are facts, obviously facts and circumstances are not privileged just because they're discussed in executive session. But the commentary in executive session is privileged and protected as it relates to the Open Meetings Act. As I believe you know, our board members have a fiduciary duty to keep all information discussed in executive session private and confidential unless they're allowed to release that pursuant to law.
But let's do this. For today, I'll agree with that. But it's clear to me that what the commissioner is asking for is any document that is not privileged, that reflects upon this process. So I'd like for you to do this. I'd like for you by Thursday at 5 o'clock to turn over to the Commissioner's Court any document that you claim is not privileged or I would like for you to seek an opinion from the Attorney General
No, I
on his
don't-
opinion by that time.
Well, by that time, yeah, right, the Attorney General is never gonna turn around an opinion.
Well, no, what I mean is send it up there or send it over here in 48 hours.
Judge, Thursday, at what time is that? 5?
The whole Attorney General thing, Judge, is a subterfuge. You know, we've been down that road before. We've got all the Attorney General opinions here with regards to, you know, open record decisions and all. And a game is being played here. It's been hijacked. You know, we hired the best in the country to do it. We paid almost $400,000. We've gone through this maze and this mirror. We know what's going on here, Judge, and that whole Attorney General thing is strictly subterfuge. I asked for this information 2 weeks ago, and the most I got generated was just beginning yesterday. I know Ms. Branson was out of the city last week, so I didn't bother. So I finally put it in writing because I had requested that with a conversation 2 weeks ago from today.
And just so we're clear, because what I heard you say earlier, Mr. Leslie, is, well, it's not a report, the VITAs weren't reports. Whatever the nomenclature is, if there is, there's information in a retrievable form, whether that's metadata or writing, that is discoverable and not privileged. I think what the commissioner is asking for is the opportunity to see that data.
Certainly.
Correct, Commissioner? And so what I would ask for you to do is make your, if you have a legit, or if you believe that the data is privileged, ask the AG by Thursday at 5 o'clock. Turn that over for their review. But don't wait to turn over data. Anything that you believe is not privileged, turn over by Thursday at 5 o'clock. Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Commissioner Price, may I say one thing? There's no subterfuge here. We are working very hard to get this job done. Regardless of what Corn Ferry's recommendation may or may not have been, the board decided to expand the scope of the search.
but wait a minute, you hired Corn Ferry.
We did.
You hired Corn Ferry. You paid taxpayers almost $400,000, and you grilled them. You took their opinion. They're the best in the country. That's the reason you got them. And then you're going to tell me you don't take their opinion?
The board, for a number of reasons, decided to expand the search.
The board, most of it, while I appreciate, like all of my colleagues, all the work, most of you are on the job training. I appreciate that. That's the reason you went and got an expert. And you got an expert that came in and said, you know, we've dealt with head auditors before. I mean, when we got our director, we took the experts. We went and got the best we could find. And that's what you did. And in the healthcare industry, that's their reputation. And then now you're going to tell me also you're going to expand the report? You just did the report.
Commissioner, the board was given a job to do, and that's what we're doing.
Playing the game. You don't want, I asked for the information. You don't want to give me the information because Corn Ferry made a position known with regards to this pool of candidates in terms of the individual who could rise to the level and help take part where it needed to go. And those are from subject matter experts, not from people who I appreciate who are volunteering their time. You went and got an expert. You guys could have done the search without them, but you didn't. You went and got them as the expert. And they gave you their expert opinion.
Commissioner, Parkland is never going to, the board is never going to be able to give you the information you're seeking. We have used headhunters here and different consultants to do things. We've got the reports to where we didn't accept what they brought back to us, and we went back out. What you're asking for is the mental impressions of the board. In other words, the consultant can bring in the necessary information and cull down that list to a select group of people. But it takes the board to go through and filter that and to do those mental impressions of how they view those individuals. And if they sent them out there to do the community and with the different administrative staff, which they did with those individuals. And then as they receive that feedback, those are the conversations that we'll never be privy to.
Oh, no, we are not. No, some of us, some of us are privy to them. That's the only reason I'm pressing the issue.
You may be privy to them,
Because
but I'm not sure that legally that information should have been made available.
Well, it would.
That's a legal issue.
Well,
but what you're asking for, I'm not sure you're ever going to be able to get the mental impressions of the board members that are going through that process.
I got the DNA. I got it. I hear you. But the only reason I even brought this up, Commissioner, is because stakeholders, those community partners, they may invite you, but they didn't invite me to be a part of that process. They invited people in the community to be a part of that process.
But
so
we want them to do that.
We do. And so the people in the community started asking, well, what's going on? Well, why? We were interviewed those 4 candidates. We were in with all of them, with the staff. They're saying like, hey, what's going on? And they basically came to the position that Korn Ferry did.
Okay. But there is something there that we're not going to have access to, that information of why they decided to go out and to further the search. I don't know how you're ever going to get that information under the current statutes.
And
you can get the resumes and Paul can send you the resumes, but that's not going to do anything for you because that doesn't address the issue that you're trying to get to.
Well, there's nothing proprietary. It's interesting. All of a sudden, this is verbal, and I don't recall in any search where we've been looking. We didn't even.
We did that on Seattle, I believe.
Oh, please don't go there.
I had to go back.
I thought you meant.
No. I'm talking to us.
Okay.
And I think there's several others that we.
Yeah. Okay. We definitely want to talk about that. In fact, that was one of the reasons. He wound up here because we had somebody bring us the same historical DNA.
Well, no.
And they did the pool. The pool was not represented.
We paid them and didn't take their advice. We went and did our own deal.
No. They went back and bought us. They just came back and bought us the second month. Is that correct?
Had to go back out.
But we didn't pay them any more money. I just said the pool was not representative of this county. That's all I said. This pool was representative of the county. Their pool was not representative. They had, I don't think they had any female. I know they didn't have any Hispanics in the first pool. They didn't have any African Americans in the first pool. They bought us the usual DNA. That's my point.
Right.
This pool is representative.
So she would be complaining when the pool is representative of the county, and they still weren't ready to pull the trigger, but they need to expand it.
Well, no, we shouldn't be.
Check out the next pool is. If it's representative of the county, in other words, they may be looking for the best qualified person.
But the Korn Ferry is considered to be the best, and
they can be the best, but they may be the best at culling and being able to broadcast out there and receive all these resumes in, and then culling it down and see what fits a Parkland hospital. But they can't make that choice of there's a process, and you know it because we go through the same thing with hiring department heads.
But we have never, ever, if the pool is representative, we never just toss the pool.
Right, but you get right back to what I just said. You'll never know the reason why.
We know. I think maybe we, like I said, maybe I should call my appointee down and some of the others. Maybe we ought to query them and see if we get a different answer.
Can you do it under the law? I mean, that's about it.
Well, and let me just say, while I understand, Commissioner Price's frustration, he's expressed it before, we did have a very good representative pool. And I think we all appreciate that from the board. And well, you all have decided to expand it. We hope that we will have such a good pool of candidates, additional candidates that you can look into. And with that, I think we can argue all day long.
Well, no, I'm good, I wanna call my
I've been
representative, no, I wanna, no, you're not gonna be able to sweep it under the rug like that.
It's not sweeping.
Okay, that's fine,
They're
that's fine.
expanding the pool, and but I believe my message is, I expect the next pool, the expanded pool, to be as good as the last one. But I appointed some people to the partner board with the understanding that they will do their best to find the best person. And that is my big picture, and I'm speaking about
And
it.
your person did not support just going out for a new pool. They were okay with the rest of the first pool.
I agree, but it's a
Okay.
consensus building board. So Commissioner, listen, I mean, we can push certain buttons and we're not going to get anything. At the end of the day, the votes have to be there to select a candidate, and they weren't.
Well,
So, we like it or not, you know, they made a decision. I appointed, and I voted for these board members. I support their work, and I will continue to support.
that's fine. Next week, I want my appointee down here and to answer the same questions, and I still want the information. And we'll see.
We will receive any additional information by
We'll
Thursday as far as the process here, so that we can at least feel that the thoroughness of the work that's been done, and that we trust the board that we have appointed to arrive at a consensus and use their judgments
Not a
to
consensus.
produce.
Not a consensus, you're a majority. Not a consensus. You'll never get a consensus. Never.
How does the board work then?
The majority. It's a majority. It was a one-off in terms of the pool. It was only a one-off in terms of the pool.
I'm sorry, what do you mean there was only a one-off in terms of the pool?
You voted on the other side to go back out. So you voted on the other side and three was,
So how do you know how voted?
well, did you or didn't you?
We didn't take a vote.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So I did not have, so I, well, there was a not.
There was not a vote taken.
Okay. Well, I'll get my appointee down here and see if he says anything to the
There
contrary.
was no vote taken.
Okay. So how did you go back out then?
In a discussion in the boardroom.
In a what?
Discussion in the executive session.
Well, so you're telling me everybody just decided executive session, well, let's just go back out. Is that what you're saying? Are you telling me that there was not a majority in the executive session that said, let's go back out?
There was no vote taken.
No, okay, you can't take a vote in executive session. Are you telling me that no one, that a majority of you in the executive session didn't say, let's go back out? Or did all of you say it? Was it consensus? Did everybody say it? Yeah, I know, you can't answer it. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured. Okay, I'm fine. All right, you back.
I think we've heard from everyone. We can hear from a different board member if Commissioner so desires next week. But you know, I think the position of the court is documents that are discoverable by the public. We would like to have those documents by Thursday at 5 o'clock. Documents that you believe are privileged, and I'm confident that some of the documents are privileged. I don't disagree with you. We would like for you to tender those to the Attorney General for a third party to determine whether they are privileged. And the Attorney General determines that they're not privileged, we'd like to make those available to the public because it is a institution. I'm mindful, though, as the chair of this court, that we have appointed this board to make this independent decision to find the CEO. It is the single most important decision that the board makes, to find the CEO. And I'm willing to give wide latitude to you in your search process. Because I believe not only am I willing to do it, I believe I'm required by law to do that because you're an independent board. I do want to say this one thing for the record because I think you've heard this today from Commissioner Garcia in voting on a bid, and I think you're hearing it from Commissioner Price, and I want to add my voice to that. It is incredibly important that search process, and I believe it has, and I believe it will continue to, incorporate the diversity. This is a very diverse mosaic of a county. It is a county that has people from all religions and all ethnicities. And our, just to be blunt, our CEOs of Parkland have always been white men. And you know, I'm sure there'll be plenty of qualified white men that will apply for this job, but I'm confident that the board will also look across this country for people of color, for women, because I think diversity in leadership is incredibly important. I believe that part of the successes that we're having in Parkland today, Debbie, are because of your views. A big part of the successes that we're having in Parkland today are Dr. Parnell and Eddie. So, you know, I want to echo that is a very important thing.
Judge, we understand that, and that's been made very clear.
Yeah, but I hear all of that, but the profession doesn't meet the performance. The C-suite is 99% Anglo.
I understand that.
Okay. I mean, that has nothing to do. The CEOs have all been white men. But the C-suite, the people who are making the decision, white.
And I don't want to, well, I'll say this. In the past, there's been an over-reliance at Parkland on, in the past, not necessarily today, in the past, there's been an over-emphasis on the numbers, on the money. And I wonder if we bring more diversity to leadership, if that wouldn't balance out a little better, because Lord knows that's gotten us into trouble.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, black folks, Hispanic folks, we count.
No, I'm not saying that the black folks and Hispanic folks don't count very well.
Well, you can't say that the people that were had no compassion for people, is basically what you're saying, and that's absolutely false. That's absolutely false.
What I'm saying is that we're the only hospital in the country that's on this, well, I think there are actually a couple more now, but that is on this sort of probation. And I think this board's done a tremendous job in getting us to where we are. And I think diversity is important as we move forward. But I don't mean to belittle or attack any individual that has served a Parkland in the past. If the comment was taken that way, then let me correct that misimpression and apologize. I certainly didn't mean to attack any individual.
Well, it's, you know, we always talk about incestuous relationships. It's interesting when people will go from one hospital to the other.
Same thing we do in the county. Same thing in the city.
Why don't we just allow the board to do the job that we have commissioned them to do, which is to make the best decision they can make on finding a CEO for Parkland.
Okay, 28 years ago, this table was all white. So ain't nothing incestuous about that. I'm talking
But
about.
this also occurred during the changing demographics of Dallas County too, and the makeup of this board.
Parkland, that's my point about Parkland. That's my point about Parkland. This county is over 50% people of color.
Okay, it's also a
Percent
demographic
women too, so why
board.
don't we have this conversation after the meeting, please?
And I want to
But
thank you.
this occurs with Republicans, so that got nothing to do with it. That has something to do with somebody forging, you know, a position that said diversity was important.
Wait a minute, that couldn't happen under majority white on the court, could it?
We could have now all white on the court.
Well, but you hear what I'm saying?
I got you.
Okay.
But it was somebody that was pushing.
I understand.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Branson, and
Briefing us and for
we'll wait for that information also.
And I'll place this back on the week next week.
We look forward to that. You really need to do it.
make sure that I'm serious.
No, what's the trouble is that they call it a subterfuge by going orally as opposed to producing the bad government report. I've never been around here when we have not, when we pay for a report, and I don't care who we've been looking for executive, that they haven't produced.
And that's what we asked for, and we'll see.
Can we move along?
Mr. Martin takes the next item.
Item number 2, Health and Human Services. 2A, recommends approval of authority to enter into negotiations with specified radio stations for the purpose of volunteer recruitment ads for the medical reserve corps and improve exemption from competitive bidding for this service. Item 2B, recommends approval of the amendment to the Department of State Health Services contract CPS Cities Ready to Miss Initiative. Item 3,
I just
juvenile.
want to say thank you, Mr. Thompson. I did see the bilingual health coordinator is included in 2B. I mean, very needed, especially during the West Nile virus season that we just had. Thank you so much to you and your department. And I think it's a great addition to the Health and Human Services Department team.
Thank you, Doctor.
Just for the record, Darryl, I want to get on for 2A, media ad campaign. Just for the record, Mr. Thompson, before you apply for this, the grant monies, the state verifies everything that you've done previously on the year before. So we're always in compliance based on the information that you give them and you secure the grant.
Right. For the record, every contract I bring forward in relationship to the Texas Department of State Health Services, we've already got prior approval from them to bring it forward as part of our contract. So they're very aware of what we do. I would not bring anything to the court without prior approval from us.
And purchasing, we comply with everything we need to.
We do it in this, for this particular instance, we try to, in the past, help do this through our regular process and we're unsuccessful.
Yeah.
And so purchasing suggested this method for this particular type of purchase on the past.
Right, I just want to get on the record.
Item 3, Juvenile Department. 3A, recommends approval of the Youth Service Advisory Board's allocation of juror funds for fiscal year 2013. 3B, recommends approval of the submission of the esteemed court grant application to the Criminal Justice Division. Item 4, Operations, recommends approval of the interlocal agreement with the Railroad Commission of Texas for the Texas Alternative Fleet Fuel Pilot Program for the purchase of 5 alternative fuel vehicles.
And again, I didn't get a chance from the esteemed coordinator, I was going to commend the department, and it makes a difference in terms of who's in leadership. I just want to commend Judge Shannon and the department for the esteemed court, the Divert Court, the male Divert Court. Population has gone down about, is it 30%? Down 30%. Authorized for 1,100 individuals, got less than probably 700, right? 700? You got like 900? Okay. It makes a difference. And you got the right people in leadership. So, yeah.
Item 5, County Auditor. 5A, recommends approval of audit command language training for county audit staff through Soneto LLC. 5B, request authority to enter into contract negotiations with WebWatch Corporation for professional service contract for an analytic dashboard for crime analysis for the Sheriff's Department. Item 6, Purchasing. 6A, recommends approval of the release of an RFP for third-party administration and related services for Dallas County Self-Insured Workers' Comp Program and authorize the advertising solicitation of the RFP. 6B, that quarter is on your formal agenda. 7, Public Works. 7A, recommends consent to the offer of purchase on the tax proposed property located at 4812 Chickadee in Ball Springs at 147 Cochran Street. Authorize the sale by quitclaim deed and authorize tax assessor collector to disperse proceeds in accordance with property tax code. Item 7B, recommends approval of a 1-year extension with current firms for IDIQ lab services. Item 7, recommends approval of change order 10 for the Pioneer Road MCIP from Beltline Road to East Cartwright Road in Ball Springs. And item D, recommends approval of the Domingo Maria Verho addition and the final plat in unincorporated area of District 3 in Dallas County at Cook Road The subdivision is in compliance with all current subdivision regulations per Court Order 2010-1361.
Is that the last of that ETJ? Huh? Is that it?
Yeah, but this is, this one right here complies.
Well, no, I know it's compliant.
Yes.
But we got enough stuff.
Item 8, Human Resources. IEA recommends approval of agreement with Monster Worldwide Job Search to advertise for professional positions in Dallas County. 8B recommends approval of Amendment 10 to the Senior Supplement Plan and Amendment 7 to the Medicare Advantage Plan.
We already have this benefit, right?
Yes.
This is just a,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And these are for our retirees, correct, Dr.
Correct.
Taylor? Item 8C recommends approval of Amendment 1 to the United Healthcare Administrative Services Agreement, adding the administrative fee for nurse line services. Item 9, Planning and Development, recommend approval of disbursement of ESG funds to service providers listed in your briefing. And Dr. Garcia, you had your question to answer on this one?
We're answered. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Item 10, Information Technology. 10A, recommends approval of the purchase of the .gov domain name from General Services Administration. Item 10B, recommend approval of personal services contract with Austin Ribbon and Computing for the services of Jason Davis as server administrator. Item C, recommend approval of the statement of work and the purchase of IBM hardware and installation services from Austin Ribbon and Computing. Item D, recommend approval.
And on C, the timeline for phase 4, I mean, we're talking about, the installation of services, but what is the timeline? It was not in the briefing.
That's it.
Work of hard work, go
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, as far as phase 4, those items, ma'am, all of those phases are basically done to be done in conjunction with the actual current Oracle upgrade project. That Oracle upgrade project is to be done by the summer of 2013. So this is something that needs to be done as a part of that particular.
So that whole package is by, 2014?
Yes, ma'am.
All the phases?
Well, all of the Oracle upgrade project is actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's being done, we're trying to get it done by in the summer, and I think it's, this is a part of getting the actual hardware installed at the actual new data center.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item 10D, recommends approval of personal services contract with Austin Ribbon and Computing for the services of the Ball Server Administrator. E, recommends approval of personal services contract with Lilacs Technologies for the services of Aaron Holland, Technical Support Analyst. F, recommends approval of personal services contract extension with Austin Ribbon and Computing for the services of John Dessain, mainframe COBOL developer. Item G, recommends approval of personal services contract with Red Zone. Actually, that item has been requested to be removed. I believe this person has taken another position. Item H, that quarter is on the formal agenda. Item I, recommends approval of professional services contract with Austin Ribbon and Computing for the deployment of Microsoft System Center Operations Manager for the purchase of three wall-mounted displays. Item 11, budget. 11A, that's your conference travel training request. 11B, recommends approval for 6-month extension with Historical Publishing Network for the Dallas County Cityscape book. C and D, those quarters on the formal agenda. Judge Commissioner, you had your miscellaneous briefing addendum. There were a couple of pages missing, so we had an addendum added last week. Just added a couple of other purchasing items. And if there are no questions on information on miscellaneous, you do have 3 speakers listed, Judge.
Thank you. With the availability of the rules of the forum for our speakers.
Yes, sir. All Commissioners Court attendees are hereby advised that this meeting is conducted in accordance with provision of Dallas County Code, Section 7471. Visitors and registered speakers are to preserve order and decorum at all times. Personnel profane or slanderous remarks are not appropriate and will not be allowed at any time during this public meeting. Any and all clauses to be kept brief in observance of time constraints. Disruptive visitors or registered speakers may be removed or subject to the penalty provided in the state of Texas Penal Code, Section 38.13, 42.01, and 42.05. Registered individual speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes, and the maximum discussion of any one topic is limited to 30 minutes.
Judge, first speaker is Mr. Shepard.
I beg your pardon. Mr. Sharon, please state your name for the record and your address, and we've done this before, you'll hear the beep, and when you hear the second series of beeps, just finish your thought, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Richard Sheridan, I live at 3022 Forest Lane, Dallas, Texas, in Commissioner Garcia's district. Appreciate being here, Judge and Commissioners. The handout includes two items. One is a letter to Mr. Greg Abbott, the Texas Attorney General, and Mr. John Steen, the Texas Secretary of State, concerning Dallas mail-in ballot election vote fraud and call for election alerts. Basically, I consider it, other people consider it clear and present danger. And then the other item received, was dated March 12th. The first item was dated February 26th. The letter went out on the 26th. I received a response back on March the 12th from the Office of the Attorney General, signed by Andrea Flores, Public Information and Assistance, Office of the Attorney General. The letter to the Attorney General contains 6 items. Briefly go through them. And I won't mention any names, I'll be discreet. Candidate for City Council 2011 election. He recounted a history of election vote fraud in various aspects of a particular family in Dallas. Item 2, WFAA, April 7, 2010, Brett Shipp. Now there is new evidence of a more orchestrated campaign by so-called vote officers allegedly tampering with mail-in ballots. Item 3, September 13, 2011, CBS News, 7 new indictments have been handed down to the Dallas family. Item 4, one was found guilty, February 27, 2012, by WFAA News. Item 5, second family member convicted in vote fraud scandal, Brett Shipp, WFAA News, February 29th. And lastly, number 6, recent on the streets of Dallas and in the know person, vote fraud news, when reported that a city council member seated is now involved in similar activities. Concluding the letter, I had conversations with both the City of Dallas election official and a member of the Secretary of State, and they both agreed it makes sense to have some kind of election alerts, whether it's radio, TV, or just sending a postcard, because there is a list of all voters that have voted by mail-in ballots over the years, matter of record. And that's part of the problem, because the harvesters can also go there and pressure these senior citizens and handicapped into voting for someone that they possibly don't want to vote for. So in a letter concluding from the Attorney General's office, since the county or district attorney has primary jurisdiction to pursue alleged criminal violations of the law and continue working with local prosecutors in Dallas County, this is the first step of vote fraud. It's a mail-in ballot. And I pray that something is done to alert the citizens that are being preyed on in Dallas County. And thank you very much for your attention.
And our next speaker, I think I wrote this note there. The next speaker is Jacqueline Cortez.
My name is Jacqueline Cortez. It's 3915 Cedardale Road in Dallas, Texas. Judge Jenkins, Commissioners. I thank the Commissioners Court for the opportunity to speak this morning on the concerns of County of Dallas District 3 of off-road bridges and gas line bridges that hangs 50 feet in the air with no base support. Hanging in the air is a 50-ton pipe with a 1-inch cable that is about to fall off its braces. That is very dangerous and has the ability of a bomb by natural weather like a storm. We also have an 8-inch cast iron pipe that is transferring an unknown material that has exposed itself in the creek below, that Atmos Energy has not taken any responsibility for. These violations have been televised on Channel 8 investigations, and from the news media information, Judge Clay Jenkins and Mayor Beck Rollins have requested removal from Atmos Energy of all cast iron gas pipes. Silo Stables requests emergency removal and grants a power of attorney to contract a committee to facilitate this possible catastrophe and proper attention, and have a responsible party to care for this pipe. Silo Stables has had full responsibility of care without any help for the last 10 years, and this is very dangerous. I also have 3 discs for each member that will show the proof of these pipes and all the dangerous situation that we're speaking of. Thank you.
Thank you. And we continue, just by way of information, ma'am, we continue to work on that issue. And to my understanding, on my calendar shortly is a meeting with the mayor or at least the president of Atmos and myself, and I believe the mayor of Dallas as well, to continue to discuss this issue. Atmos has put forth, I think they quadrupled the amount of money that they're spending on pipe removal. It is important though, if you smell gas or you have a concern, that you contact Atmos directly. You're also welcome to contact our office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our last speaker today is Mr. Marvin Crenshaw. Mr. Marvin Crenshaw. Our last speaker not being here, that concludes our speakers for today. The court is, we're now going into executive session, chapter 551 of the government code. Any actions result of discussion during the closed session